Happy New Year, players! Why do people like these things? This is a bunch of noise. Anyway, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us. We are back in 2026, as you can see by my stylish hat. And you know what that means if you're a fan of this channel. That means, number one, you survived 2025. Congratulations. We know that was a struggle because, my God, that year. But as we do every year on this channel, we look back at the year that was, all thanks to your predictions. Yes, it's time to see which of y'all accurately predicted the craziness of 2025. And I won't spoil it. Somebody got it right. So not only are we going to do that, we are going to talk about who has the prediction that will take us through 2026. Yes, so I want all of y'all to sit back because we're going to look and see what y'all predicted last year, who got it right, and what you predict for this year going forward. And some of these predictions, I sure hope y'all aren't right. So join me, my psychic friends. And as far as this network, let's get our Dionne Warwick on. If you know, you know. That's what friends are for. Okay, I'm gonna stop. That's ridiculous. All right, prediction time, 2026. Let's get it. Thank you for joining me for yet another edition of the Soul and Stereo Sessions, the first one for 2026. Thank you so much for coming through. And as I said earlier, yes, this is time for predictions. So to restate what we're doing, way back in January 2025, I did a video where I shared all of your predictions for this past year. And y'all came up with some crazy ones. So what we're going to do right now is look back at those predictions and see how they fare. And let's see if they age like milk or wine. We'll see, because some of them are something. And the possible winner, I won't give it away yet. The possible winner will get a prize from yours truly. So once I shout you out, if that happens, hit me up and I got you. Then, after we wrap that up, I will look at the predictions that y'all made for 2026. So I asked my friends over on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course, the Soul and Stereo Cypher on Facebook. If you're not a part of that community, make sure you are. There's over 1,000 of us in there from all over the country talking about music 24/7. And a lot of the great ones came from the Cypher. So a lot of Cypher shout outs today. Go check out that group on Facebook. It's the only group on Facebook that isn't filled with drama. So check us out there and you can see which members provided their lovely tips for us today. So before we get going, I want to shout out the winner of the 2024 contest, my boy Jeremy Big Dog, a member of the Cypher. We'll talk about him a little bit later. He did his thing last year. So let's get going, y'all. Actually, let's take a pause for the calls before we do that and take care of some housekeeping. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. So many of y'all, if I look at my analytics, actually watch this channel every video, but you don't ever subscribe. Why? It's easy. Just click that and join the community. And of course, make sure you hit a like when you get this video, because I promise you you're going to like it, and share it with the music fan in your life. And of course, when we're done, make sure that you share your predictions below and talk about some of the crazy ones we got here. So without any further ado, let's turn back the clock like a few days and see what y'all thought of 2025. All right, here we go. Got the patented Thundercats phone here. Let's see the predictions that y'all have for 2025 and see how well they held up. So first, my girl, Neo Soulja. Kelly Rowland will drop a Grammy-winning album this year. That didn't happen. Another one from Neo. CDs are going to make a comeback because artists are tired of streaming platforms taking 90% of their money. That's a no. But I will say CDs might be coming back. I have a friend whose daughter is super into collecting CDs. She's a big Tyler, the Creator fan, so she got good taste. And I think that we are raising a generation who wants physical media. See, they're smarter than us. They know that, like, all of this stuff is probably going to go away, so get what you want. Laugh at my CDs if you want to. I was ahead of the game. I told y'all. Damon Dunn, my R&B son. Drake will have a comeback like no other. What? He has something like no other. A comeback it was not. Did you hear that album? Did you hear that album? Sorry, Damon, I love you. I don't love Aubrey. My girl Dorian says, I think we're going to start seeing the end of social media making new music stars. If TikTok gets banned or bought by someone for political reasons, we will see fewer songs benefit from TikTok vitality. So this one is interesting. Producer D Roth, I want you to do something. Run back the video last year of what I said, because it's interesting. I'm sure 12 months from now, either we'll be saying, remember when TikTok was a thing? Or we'll be like, remember that week in January we thought that we were gonna lose TikTok? That was so dumb. TikTok is still here. So it'll be funny to look back in this in 12 months. So yeah, I guess the big answer here is wrong. But it is funny because, like, I still think that was a good prediction, because that in early 2025, January 2025, it certainly seemed like TikTok could be doomed. And of course, it wasn't. I mean, 2025 was the year I got on TikTok. My old self got on TikTok. You know it's still running strong. But Dorian, I give you props because that was a good guess. Also, make sure you follow me on TikTok at Soul and Stereo. Cheap plug. Vocals. Drake's next album will flop. Now, before you hold on the buzzer, D Roth, because that album was atrocious, but I can't call it a flop because it still went platinum and it still was #1. It was not as successful as his previous album. So this is almost right, but I'm gonna still say wrong. But it underperformed. He's close. Here's another one from vocals. The downfall of all hip-hop will become obvious. Yeah, so this one is, boy, it says some other stuff too, but I'll stop it there. This one is another borderline one because for the first time in 35 years, hip-hop did fall off of the top 40 charts for Billboard. So while some people could say that the downfall is obvious, I will push back. I will push back because we had, in my opinion, one of the strongest years creatively for hip-hop in a long time with the Legends Have It series, a lot of the younger artists coming through. Yeah, they didn't bust the charts up, but creatively it was strong. So I know this one's another borderline. With vocals, you got close. I'm going to say wrong, but it was close. I just don't feel like we can say that it was a downfall because creatively it was so good. You could call it a turning point, but then we'll see. Here's another one. Taylor Swift's fall begins in 2025. That's a wrong. The album got mixed reviews, but I actually listened to her album that came out last year, and I thought it was pretty alright. I'm far from a Swiftie, so I'm told she has better stuff. I thought the album was alright. Stephen A. Smith will begin his fall in 2025. That's kind of a wrong, but who takes that dude seriously anyway? Another one from vocals. A legacy act will make a comeback this year. And I asked him to clarify, and he said Boys to Men or Joe. Wrong. It's crazy. Joe is one of the few artists who said, I'm going to retire, and he retired. Like, we have not seen him since. But I hear rumblings through the grapevine that we might see something soon. You heard it here first. Another one from vocals. Drake will win his lawsuit against UMG, and they will release the records of all the fake streams and sales he did, reversing his accomplishments and sabotaging his career. Wrong. That man lost. That man was collecting L's all year long. Deservedly so. Shout out to my brother CJ. Kendrick will bring out J. Cole during a halftime performance at the Super Bowl. Wrong. You're going to see a lot of Super Bowl stuff here because that was hot in the streets in last January 2025. Beyonce will announce her Cowboy tour, and Act 3 will be a full R&B album. This is just half wrong because she did announce the tour, My pockets are still hurting because my wife went. But there's still no word as of this recording on Act 3. That could change by the time this video drops. But as of this recording, we haven't heard about Act 3. Next up, Drake will win his suit against UMG, which will make him richer, but more frowned upon in the hip-hop community. Wrong. It's up frowned upon, because we definitely frowning upon that fraud. Next up, J-Lo will be the unnamed person who was in the room during the alleged acts with Puff and Jay-Z. I don't remember in the room with Jay-Z and Puff. I'm sure that was a 2025 thing. Regardless, wrong. Next up is my boy Paul Terry. J. Cole will diss Drake this year. Wrong. Cardi B will release an album. Yes! That happened! She did drop an album. Album was every bit of okay, but that was right. Shout out to Paul, he got one. Next up, Kendrick Lamar will bring Taylor Swift out for that Super Bowl halftime show. Wrong. Summer Walker will release an album that Edward T. Bowser will give a 4-star review. She released an album. I did not give it 4 stars. Big wrong. Multiverse Ed will start his own podcast in this dimension, and his co-host will be Bun Squeaks. Do I even have to give y'all that one? Wrong. Don't give that Multiverse Ed any ideas. Daryl Clark. Jay-Z will drop a classic by the end of the year 2025. Wrong. The next Super Bowl halftime show will not feature a rapper. But you know what? I was gonna say, so let me clarify. The next Super Bowl halftime show will not feature a rapper. The next Super Bowl halftime show will feature Bad Bunny, and while some people don't see him as a hip-hop artist, he is a rapper, so sorry, Daryl. That's wrong. We will finally get the Last Friday movie. Wrong. Jello Ball will have the most anticipated album of 2025. Big wrong. He did give us an album nobody anticipated. Shout out to Win. Aaliyah's posthumous album will have Beyonce, Mariah, and Brandy featured as artists. I remember this one because I remember it sounding like the Wait and Exhale 2 soundtrack. That's wrong. Aaron Berkeley. Beyonce's next album will be a rock album. That's wrong. We still don't know what that album's going to be. I do think it's going to be a rock album, though. So I think she was just a little ahead of the curve. Kira Travis. Sade will release an album. Nope. Drake will release an album to appease the Make Aubrey Great Again claim. Actually, let me... This is so ridiculous, I gotta restate this one. Drake will release an album to appease the Make Aubrey Great Again crew with features from white artists that are beloved by the right. That is wrong, but he does have an album coming called Iceman, and his buddy Nicki Minaj basically did this. So this is the most hilarious prediction, because it's almost right, as ridiculous as it sounds. My God, where are we become? What are we? What are we happening? Oh my gosh. Jeremy Big Dog, the 2024 prediction contest winner. Let's see what he got. He got to have some heat, right? Because he won before. R. Kelly will win his appeal and be released from prison in 2025. His first concert will be a sellout. Wrong. He might be selling out that hall where they eat that mess hall in the prison. That's the only thing getting sold out there. Diddy will beat his case. That's wrong, sort. I'm still giving you the buzzer for that one because he dodged the worst of the sentencing, but he still got sentenced to 4 years. So it was worse. He could have been worse, but he didn't necessarily get off. Summer Walker's Finally Over It will be the Cypher's album of the year. That's a wrong. 50 Cent and Ja Rule will squash their beef finally and collaborate on a new song together. The opposite of that happened. Big wrong. Man, Jeremy Big Dog, you didn't do so good this year, homie. But you know who did? Paul Terry, brother, you are our winner of the 2025 prediction contest. You were the only one with a clear winning answer, so you get it right. Hit up your boy, hit me up, because I have a prize waiting on you. I know you know where to find me. Hit my DMs. Great job for Paul. So, that was 2025. Let's see what y'all have in store for 2026. Alright, here we go with the 2026 predictions. These will be interesting. We'll start with When, a surprise Whitney Houston posthumous album featuring Ariana Grande, Jasmine Sullivan, Summer Walker. Summer Walker and Whitney? That's like Aretha Franklin and Benjamin Franklin. Don't hold your breath. Another one from him. Victoria Monet will have her first top 20 Billboard 100 hit, and it won't be the last. I was going to push back because I thought On My Mama was a top 20 hit. Last I checked, it only peaked at 33. I think that one's possible. And she has a new album coming. Be on the lookout. My boy might have one here. Pam decides to take back her words and rejoin Total. I mean, she might as well. What else is she doing? Last time I saw, she was doing like commercials with Wendy's or something. I mean, get your coins, ma'am, but we want to see you in that leather coat and your glasses. I think Neo and Trinity from The Matrix stole their look from Total. Destiny's Child surprise reunion song with LaToya and Latavia as feature. I want this. I want this so much. Please let this happen. I really like these predictions, When. You are on one. Next up is my boy James Blackrock Booker. He usually has some good stuff. Conway and Westside Gunn take the year off. Oh, really? That's definitely a bold prediction. I don't think so. These dudes will drop an album before this video drops. Trust and believe. Tidra Moses, Mae Marie, Amel LaRue, Cleo Sol, Claudette Ortiz will all drop albums this year. That is a bold prediction. Cleo, possibly. As of this recording, I hear that Salt is going to be coming back. I could see a Cleo solo album. Maybe A. Marie, because I see she's kind of festering a little bit. Outside chance Tidra. I do not see Amel LaRue doing anything, or Claudette, so I don't know about that. Now see what Paul says. He's our winner for 2025. Chloe and Halle will return with an R&B album of the year. That's possible. Those solo acts sure ain't working. Khaled will publicly apologize to Drake. I doubt that. Apologies don't exist anymore in 2026, so don't get your hopes up. J-Lo will drop a country album. Oh God, no. I could actually see that, because if anybody loves riding the trend, it's J-Lo, and we love these country albums now. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't happened already. Pray for our ears if that happens. J. Cole's The Fall Off will not see the light of day in 2026. As of this video, there are rumors that it might drop by the end of this week that I'm recording the video. I'm willing to make my own prediction that that does not happen, but I think that we might see the album this year. But it might not be The Fall Off. The Fugees will do another tour, and this time Wyclef will be the only one turning up. Well, he gotta be. Praj show ain't turning up. You know how Lauren is with her timeliness. If it's just Wyclef, is that really a Fugees tour? Wouldn't that just be a Wyclef tour? I don't know about that one, homie. The Firm will drop a new album. I know, but it's my dream. It's possible. I actually think that one's very possible. Neo Soldier's back. Dawn Robinson will return to En Vogue, but will flake out at tour time with Maxine following. I could see that very easily. Rap music will be at least 30% of the top 10 Billboard from this summer through the end of 2026. I don't see that happening. Another year maybe. I don't see a turnaround like that. Jonathan Bailey says Bruno and Anderson will link up for a follow-up to An Evening with Silk Sonic. So when this question was submitted, this was prior to Bruno announcing that he had a solo project coming. So we know we're getting a Bruno album in February. That's for sure. A Silk Sonic project is what this is predicting. That could be possible. I'm pretty sure Anderson would be featured on the album. I think he's going to be on tour. This is a very possible one. He also says Meg ends up engaged or pregnant by the end of the year. Yeah, I can see it. They engaged, maybe. I don't know what be going on between people's legs. That's not my deal. Derek Dunn. New Edition will drop either a single or a secret album. We'll see. It's possible. I'm not betting on it. Chris Brown will release his concert movie and a mature R&B album. People have been asking that for years, and I don't know what the problem is. Dude, just grow up. In all facets, just grow up. You are going on, you're like mid-30s, probably going on 40. Just drop something, stop rapping. Drop something that your audience can relate to. You will do well, I promise. I was so annoyed with that 11-11 album, whatever it was, that was supposed to be a shorter track list and more mature, and he just bloated the track list up and did the usual stuff. It drove me crazy. Brother, cousin Chris, just grow up. I promise you your fans will not run away. I promise you. Up next, we got Shantae, and she says R9 release date is announced this year. Now, R9 is the long mythical Rihanna album, and that's possible. If A$AP Rocky is dropping an album this year, we know that's happening. So it's not unreasonable that we could get a Rihanna album. I really wish she just stick to selling draws. Y'all know Rihanna has like 2 good albums in my opinion. I'm not looking forward to this one. Jasmine Thompson. Beyonce's Act 3 is a Destiny's Child album. A Girl Can Dream. Can I dream too? I'm not a girl, but can I dream? I want that. I really want that. Vocals is back. Mariah gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I could see that. Mint Condition will reunite for a tour and album. I doubt it, but okay. William Clark. Nas will get into the Hall of Fame. He definitely deserves it. The Michael Jackson biopic will make at least $1 million and increase Michael Jackson's streams. This one, mark my words, I think this one might happen. I went to see Wicked in December, and as one of the trailers, they showed the Michael Jackson trailer. This theater erupted, and this was not, it wasn't just us. This was a theater filled with young 10-year-old little white girls. They were ecstatic. I was like, how do y'all know who Michael is? He is so transcendent. Like, they were going crazy. I think this is going to be a huge movie. Beyonce's third act will be her very last album. That's going to be hard to say unless she straight up says this is going to be her last album. I do think we'll get that one this year. Futoshi is back. Blue Ivy turns into her rebellious stage and refuses to be on stage with her mom. Wow. You sure want drama, homie. Shantae Moore releases a Chinese album and it becomes a big hit in China. I can see that, honestly. Everybody gets shocked when Questlove turns out to be MAGA. Player, I will eat my phone if that happens. I will eat it. Well, let's say this. I don't think it'll happen. I might have to take back this eating this phone thing because some of y'all, I question your loyalties in 2026. But I don't think that Questlove is MAGA. Kira Travis. Blue Ivy will drop an album. I think that's very, very possible. My boy Lee Warren over on IG. New R. Kelly album. R. Kelly album? Ooh, R. Kelly in the prison announcement? No. Mos Def and Erykah Badu will release their albums with Alchemist. What is the holdup, man? What is that? I remember being set to review Badu's album, and then like hours before she put out a video on Instagram, I was like, my bad, y'all. Alchemist say the album ain't dropping. And we haven't heard anything about either of these two projects since. I could see Badu dropping, and I think it's going to randomly drop because that's how they roll. I don't know what's going on with Mos. I don't even know how to pronounce my homie's name. Teho? I don't know. But we're going to shout him out anyway. A$AP Rocky's Don't Be Dumb will be album of the year. And I like A$AP okay, but he's another artist I never saw the complete hype with. Like, he's good, but album of the year, I mean, we'll see. We'll come back next January, and we'll know for sure. Alright, players, that's it. You heard the predictions for 2026. What do you think has the greatest ability, the likelihood to come true. There are actually a few up there that were good that I think were very likely, and it's always something insane is going to happen, I'm sure. And one of the most unlikely ones could wind up being very likely. Leave your predictions below. Let me know of the ones you heard, which ones you think will come true below. And once again, shout out to our winner, Paul, for being our 2025 prediction contest winner. He is the Nostradamus of us all. He was the one who was able to predict everything. So shout out to him, and shout out for y'all for joining me through this video. Thank you for coming through. Buckle up, because 2026 is going to be an insane ride. This edition of the Soul and Stereo session is a wrap, but just for Paul, just for you, I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm going to let your fave, for the first time, sign us out. Congratulations may be in order for Paul, was it? Our prediction prognosticator? Congratulations, but I am less than impressed. Because the year 2025 was 12 months of monotony and mediocrity. I give the year 2025 3 stars. Frolic on, dear viewers. Frolic on.